Hey guys, it's Greg and welcome back to Seven Woods. Today we're going to be talking about the ever so popular 0% financing on new vehicles. Is it worth it? Is it not? Is it a scam? Well, that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be going over some pros with the 0% financing option as well as some cons that we could be looking at as well. So first, we need to be talking about some of the pros. So 0% financing has been around for a while. Essentially what it is the automaker themselves are financing the loan. So when the automaker finances the loan, they know exactly what is going to be paid. So the advantage to them is that the vehicle itself is still going to be financed and they're still going to get the same amount of money no matter what. So that's not going to change. So looking at one of the first pros we could be dealing with is the fact that 0% is essentially what it is. It's a free loan. When you have a free loan, you don't have any interest to pay. So there's definitely some advantages with that. You don't have any interest to pay. The bank's not going to get, in this case, the automaker doesn't get anything from financing. But the key there is there's other ways that they're going to get the money. Obviously, they're not just going to offer a 0% finance option without them getting something out of that deal. So that's what we need to be looking at as well. So another advantage to going with the 0% financing option is the fact that it offers different terms. So looking at whether it's 72 months, 60 months, 48 or even 36, the different car manufacturers are going to offer the different incentive plans that will cater more to your liking. So the one that you really need to be cautious with is the 72-month term. The longer the note is drawn out, the more you're going to be stuck with it, and overall depreciation is going to be occurring just like it does with any vehicle. So the longer term you have, that means the less you're going to be paying. So overall, you're not going to be ahead. You could still essentially be upside down in the vehicle for a considerable amount of time. So the next thing we need to be looking at is the fact that when you do a 0% finance option on a new vehicle, it takes a lot of the headache out of the new car buying process. When you're buying a new car, it's a stressful time. A lot of people don't care to go into the dealerships and try and haggle the dealer down, look at different financing options, because obviously the dealer's looking at any which way they can to try and make another dollar off you. They're going to try and do it. All the way from financing to the undercoat protection, everything else that they're going to try and offer you, obviously. So with 0% being an option that you qualify for, you can just leave it just at that. 0% option, they'll give you the price of the vehicle. You're going to finance it for the term that you want, and then that takes the rest of the headache out. As long as you qualify for the 0%, you're going to be able to go from there, and you can choose whether or not you want to do the 672 all the way down to the 36 month. That's just going to make it that much easier for you. It's going to be less headache, less worry, and overall the buying experience will be more greatly improved. Okay guys, now let's look at some of the cons of going with the 0% financing option for purchasing your new vehicle. So the 0% is obviously offered on certain incentive models. So it may not be the model you want or care to purchase. It could make you settle in some cases. Maybe it's not offered on the option package that you want on the particular vehicle. So with the limited availability of the particular vehicle, you may not be able to qualify for the 0%, or it just may plainly not even be offered, which could be a deal breaker for some. So another thing that you really need to consider when you're purchasing a 0% is the fact that when you do 0% financing on the car loan, paying the loan off early does nothing for you. When you go and purchase a 36-month 0% financing option and you go to pay it off early at 24 months or maybe even earlier, there's no incentive for you. You're not saving on any interest money. The loan is what it is. The automaker actually is hoping you're going to do this because they know they're going to get the same amount of money whether you go 36, 48, 60, or even 72 months, or even the cases that we have now during the pandemic, higher than the 72-month options, all the way up to 84. So they want you to pay it off early. When it's paid off early, they're getting their money sooner rather than later. So it just, instead of a drawn-out process of them getting paid, they're going to get the money more up front, which is really hoping what you're going to do. So any advantage to the automaker is really not an advantage for you. So again, guys, 0% is difficult to qualify for. Save for the best credit scores out there, but also look at the other options that might be available to you. Generally, anybody with good to excellent credit is going to have different options on the table. So you need to make sure you're looking at all of them before you finally make your decision. One of the next cons that you could be looking at on the 0% financing has to do with the incentive deals that are out there. So the incentive deals are what the automaker offers to boost the sales themselves. Summertime is usually a good point during the year when automakers are trying to cut loose the current year's models. They need to start making room for the new inventory of the following year that's coming up. So once the new cars start showing up, dealers got to start making some changes on their lots and having some extra room. So generally, summertime, late summer, early fall time frame is when some of the best incentives actually occur. So based on that, you need to be looking at what incentives are actually out there. Some of the incentives may have certain rebate packages available that you need to weigh both the total rebate that could be offered for a particular vehicle as opposed to the 0%. In some cases, on say a $30,000 car with a $1,000 rebate, you're going to lower the price of the vehicle by $1,000, and maybe you could even negotiate a little bit further with the dealer themselves, depending on how much room they have with that particular model. But maybe a $1,000 rebate still doesn't quite justify the going against the 0% financing when you run the numbers. Overall, during the length of the term, 0% could be still the way to go. But the other option is maybe there's more than a $1,000 rebate. Maybe there's a bunch of different incentives that you can stack onto the current incentives to make it even more enticing. So when you start running the numbers on that, that's when you start seeing advantages to the rebates over the 0% financing option. When you have stacked rebate deals, if you start running the numbers, generally you're going to see some better pricing options. So don't always just default to the 0% thinking it's going to be the best thing. Generally, if you qualify for 0%, you're going to have good credit. You're going to be able to go to your credit union, your local bank, or even another loan program offered by the dealers themselves. And from there, you're going to be generally looking at a very low interest rate to begin with. So with the low interest rate on top of all the rebates, when you calculate out to say a 60-month term with 20% put down, you could be looking at an overall less pay for the vehicle when you look at your out-the-door price from your 0% as opposed to the 60-month finance term that you just negotiated yourself. A lot of people at this point don't want to deal with it. As you can tell just by going on the internet and quick searches, there's a lot of internet car buying companies out there that are doing very well just because people don't like going in with the hassle with the dealerships. So, but the thing is, when you go into a dealership and you just kind of let them run the show, generally they're going to be coming out much more ahead than you are. So if you want to do your homework, you want to research the vehicle themselves, go to a few different dealerships. That's what you need to be doing to make sure that you are not going to be taken for a ride from one of these dealers. All right, guys, I got two scenarios here. We're looking at a car payment calculator for a car that's price of $25,000 in each case, one being a rebate option, the other being just the 0% option. As you take a look at the two here, the 0% on a 60-month term ends up being a payment of $416.67. Obviously no interest paid since it's a 0% loan, and then you're going to end up with the total amount of $25,000 in the end. Now looking at the other option, a $25,000 loan with a 4% interest rate, looking at a $3,000 rebate option for the 60-month term. You're looking at a monthly payment of $405.16, and you'll have a total interest paid of $2,309.60 for a total amount paid of $24,309.60 over the life of the loan. So, looking at the two scenarios, in this particular case, the 0% is not the best option. You always need to run the numbers, do the math, make sure you know what you're looking at, because in cases like this, where a rebate option is available, that's what you need to be looking at, and that's what's going to save you money. Okay, guys, so we just got done looking at the pros and cons of purchasing a car with the 0% financing options. So remember, looking to do your own homework will get you the best rate possible, whether you're looking at the 0% option or you're trying to negotiate a better deal for yourself. If you want to put the time in, start doing your own homework, researching the car you want to buy and going to several different dealerships, once you're done with that whole process, you'll feel good about the deal you finally worked out when you do purchase the car. And overall, the buying experience could take a little bit longer, but in the end, you're going to save some money, and that's what it's all about, right? So overall, 0% financing is definitely a decent option. I'm not going to say that it is not. It allows the flexibility of purchasing a vehicle under the terms that you want and for the time frame you want to do it. If you want to take the time to negotiate a better deal, it's something you should definitely look at. If you don't want the hassle of that and you just want to walk in, find the vehicle you want, go with the 0% term you qualify for, overall, I think the buying experience will still be pretty decent for you. So that's all we got for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. We're going to do these every week. We're going to be talking about different financing ideas for anything from vehicles, other big purchases, real estate, portfolio diversification. It's going to be different subject matter all the time. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.